Hello adventurers, and welcome back to my channel. Today I look pretty scrubby, but there's a reason for that, and we're about to get into that. I'm going to be working on a project for my van today, and I don't want to mess up anything that I actually enjoy wearing. So we have this holy, grimy, old t-shirt that I typically just dye my hair in. So I thought this would be a good start to today's video as we get into this special project. Today I have two items which we're going to be using to go over my window covers. So a while back I actually made some window covers before I went to Colorado, and they were great. I really like them a lot. However, they have a shiny silver side, which is a little bit ugly, and so I decided I wanted to put some black on there, and I thought what better way to do that than with a little spray adhesive and some black fabric that I picked up at Walmart. So today, wind dependent, we're gonna do this. I'm not sure how this is gonna work out at all, but we're gonna try, so let's go and see if this works. Okay, so the conditions are not ideal out here because it is pretty windy, but with that said, I am moving forth with this project and hoping for the best. So I brought out the two tiny Reflectix, and whenever I end up putting the facing on these, they're going to be in this particular orientation because they go in the sides. I figured starting off with the smaller ones would be the best way to do this, because if it doesn't work out, I've only wasted the tiny ones that I have to recut versus the big ones, which would be a much more expensive endeavor. So my goal is to take a little bit of this cloth and lay it flat, spray it. That's where this wind is going to be a problem. And then I'm going to spray these and place them down on it, and after I do, then I'll weight them down and let it set up and really stick, and then I'll cut around those, and then we'll see how it fits. Okay, starting off, this is the fabric that I have. It's just 2 yards for $3. Found this in the craft department of Walmart. This is just a basic black cloth, nothing too exciting. It doesn't have any kind of random qualities that are better or worse for this project. Okay, here's where the hard part comes in. Spray adhesive. So I have this held down by some other cans, and I also need to make sure these do not get in there. So I'm holding these kind of precariously so they don't blow away, and spraying this at the same time. So we're supposed to spray the area, and then we spray these, so, and then we're going to stick them down. Okay, and then I need to spray this one, but I need to make sure that they're opposites. So this side, okay, and stick it down. Okay, and now I wait for a moment while it sets up. So in the meantime, I'm going to put the weight on top of the little pieces right here, and then I'm going to let those hang out while they set up. With the wind blowing the way it is, I'm not sure if this is going to work. That's why we test things here on the channel. And if it wasn't so windy, it might do a little bit better, but I'm not sure. But we have those two little things sticking down. So what I'm going to do is give them a few minutes, and then I'm going to cut around the outer border to see if we can get them into a little bit more compact of a space so that they can finish drying. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes, so now I'm going to cut around these two, and then that way they can go into a space that doesn't have wind, and I can see if it's ultimately going to stick together or if it's going to fall apart. So far it looks good. I put them together just to see if they would stick, and they did not, so that's good. The fabric still is sticking to it, but at the same time it's gonna need to sit for quite a while. So I think what I'm gonna do is take the spray and kind of spray into the little folds. So like for example around the edges where it didn't take super well, I'm gonna spray that and then push this down. And then I'm going to set these in a place that has good ventilation, but so it allowed them to dry the rest of the way. Okay, so I'm back. It's the next day. I checked out the small window pieces, and well, I think that they're gonna kind of work, but I think ultimately spray adhesive is a very good thing because I need to secure the cloth to the fronts of the window covers. But because I know that I'm gonna be in a lot of crazy weather and it's gonna get super hot and also super cold, I'm gonna go ahead and spray adhesive the fronts and then let them set up, and then I'm gonna stitch around the edges, and that'll hold it in place a little bit better when I am stitching, so I think that'll be smart. So I got the grimy shirt back on and about to do this. Okay, this one's finished and the other one is as well. I'm going to leave them here while I take in my supplies, and then I'll bring these inside also into a well-ventilated area that I'm not in, which means this has turned into a 3-day project, but I don't mind because testing it out definitely allowed me to understand that this was an important step, even if it's a step that's kind of wonky donkey, so to speak. So I'm glad that I did go ahead and do this. I don't know. I just don't know. So, little update. I did all the things. I put the fabric adhesive on the fabric and on the Reflectic. It's not good. It's not good. I thought at first that on the smaller ones it was just because it was so windy, and so I gave it a shot on the big ones when it was not windy. No. I don't know if I got a bad batch of glue. The kind of glue is not working with the cloth that I have, or if it just really doesn't like my Reflectics. I have no idea, but I just got out of the shower and then went and checked again, hoping, crossing my fingers, and it's just not good. The one positive is the adhesive is enough where the material seems to kind of want to stick, so whenever I get out the sewing machine now, I can kind of push it through without it maybe doing weird stuff and like throwing cloth gang signs, so to speak. So I'm really happy about that. But I'm not happy about this scenario as a whole. Don't use this craft glue. If you get a craft glue, don't make it this brand. Just don't. I would have been better off using E6000 realistically and just slathering it on and popping it down. But no, this didn't work. And then whenever I went to go and try to just detach the material, because obviously it's not really sticking, it's sticky enough where it's too sticky to use it by itself, but not sticky enough for the cloth to stay stuck. It's just kind of a weird thing. So I'm getting the sewing machine out in just a moment, and I'm just going to do a simple seam down each side, call it a day. And are they perfect? No. But will they work? Yes, they will. And it works way better than painting it, because then I don't have paint flecks everywhere and I won't have sticky residue from duct tape. So this was a journey. And just as a refresher, it was this one right here, the DIY craft. I'm sure it's fine for other stuff, but it definitely is not heavy duty or a strong hold or industrial strength in any way, shape, or form. I really don't like to give poor reviews of things, but I also like to keep it super real and honest here on the channel. So I couldn't do this project and then just be like, oh, I'm just gonna overlook it and not tell them that didn't work. No, you guys need to know this did not work. And that's okay, it's fine. Not everything is gonna work every single time, and we live, we learn, we move on, and we make adjustments, and this is a big adjustment. So, I gotta clear off my little table so that I can use my sewing machine now. Currently my laptop's on it. Okay, so I just did a little test seam and it seems to be working, so here we go. Just gonna kind of go over it. And I'm cutting in kind of a little bit more than I normally would, but I think this is gonna work. Okay, it's sewn all the way around. You can see where it kind of has an indentation. I don't see it to be a bad thing. The one thing that I could do a little bit differently is I could sew over an edge, but I think this will be fine. I just mainly want the black to face on the outside, and yes, it's ugly. And I probably should have used like some kind of black thread instead of white thread, but you know what? This is gonna be okay. I'm gonna end up redoing these eventually in the future, or I'm going to end up getting some custom ones. So this is the start of something that could be awesome. At this point, I'm down to the wire, so it's more so about getting it done than it is making it pretty. And I'm perfectly fine with these. So now I just need to trim off the excess, and I'm gonna leave a little bit of a lip, I think, just a tiny, tiny lip on these. And that way it'll work together a bit better. And then I think these will be good enough. Again, I'm not a professional seamstress. I just wanted something that didn't look silver on the outside. Guys, I am losing so badly. Something happened on my sewing machine and I can't get it to work now. Have no idea. It did this little number right here. Like, what? Everything just kind of went crazy all of a sudden. And then whenever it did it, now I can't get the sewing machine to work correctly. Why? Oh, it's not my day with these. These are just not going my way. Some days, you just can't. And I'm kind of to that point where I just can't. And so I think what I'm gonna have to do is just keep this one that worked out. And then this other one, I'm gonna have to try to fix this. I don't have it in me to fix the sewing machine right now. I know that. I am just exhausted. And I just finished a whole thing of like struggling through packing my van, which you'll see on an upcoming video and you'll understand. So I think that I'm just gonna have to call an audible on this one and just go with the silver side out and hope that it's not so sticky after I remove the cloth that was already not very sticky, because I can't put the window covers as is with the cloth on them because the cloth will just peel off. I also can't sew because the sewing machine is having a timeout. That's what I'm gonna call it, a timeout. And I can't. And I have to get on the road tomorrow, so there's no way I can get help on this one because it's too late in the evening. So, you know, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Sometimes you're the dog, sometimes you're the hydrant. Today is a hydrant kind of day. It seems like I've been having more hydrant days as of late, but I just keep rolling with it. And I think that's why I keep having more hydrant days, because I won't give up. And I'll never give up. I'll just keep moving and find ways to make things work. So, with that said, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to turn off the sewing machine. I'm going to get the larger ones kind of together and see if after I separate the cloth, if they'll dry down a little bit more. And, well, I'll hit the road just like I normally would, and then I'll address all of this whenever I come back to base camp and have a little bit more time to deal with it. This project was doomed from the beginning, from the bad glue to the sewing machine. I just wanted a solution so I wouldn't have to worry about like a curtain scenario, but worst case scenario, I'll take a curtain along with me. Oh, we're back to the curtain woes again, guys. Oh no!